All right, guys. So, what is going on? We are going to talk a little bit of professional football here as we kind of continue our series here with talking about professional football, which was the Bears playing DC last night. And I look at Chicago and Justin Fields, and yes, Justin Fields was sloppy yesterday. Yes, he's not completing the short throws, and the thing that I had on him out of college, I didn't see him really being a first round pick, but I am surprised by Justin in that he is very elusive as a runner at the NFL level. I know in college he was a decent quarterback with running the ball, but he shows decent pocket awareness, Justin Fields. And the thing is about Justin is that he adds so much to the running game because of his speed, because he's able to pull the football, and he is able to hit explosive pass plays down the field like he did last night. It's just in terms of his consistency with that release, it's hard for him to be accurate because his release, the way he throws the ball, his elbow is just so out when he throws the football, and it is a tough thing to correct. So I'm not sure going forward how consistent is Fields going to be going forward, but I got to tell you that his mobility and athletic ability has translated very well to the National Football League. Also, this defense under Matt Eberflus has been really, really good so far. I mean, at Green Bay, they were right in that game. Against the Texans, they only allowed 20 points. I know they haven't gone up against tremendous offenses, but this Bears defense has been a lot better than I even anticipated. This Bears defense is legit and is in every game. Also, the Bears and Justin Fields offense, they're giving their defense a chance by running the ball at a high clip. You have Khalil Herbert going off for big runs because of the threat of Justin Fields running the ball, and you also have David Montgomery helping out as well. So the Bears have been every game. They've actually been a good team. They've been competitive. Unlike Washington, DC, DC has just been terrible in a lot of games. I mean, the fact that they won yesterday is pathetic. The Bears really let one get away. They had a touchdown in the first half. They also failed on a 4th and 1. Okay, Carson Wentz only throws for 99 yards. So it's so frustrating that you let that team come into your house and beat you. All right, that you let DC beat you like that. It is so frustrating that Washington was able to win that game yesterday. Because this Bears team, I just think Washington with Carson Wentz is going through just so much turmoil in terms of their offensive line is not very good. Their coach, Ron Rivera, I mean, I know he made one Super Bowl in Carolina, but he's exactly like John Fox. And that was a retread hire, and I knew that would not work. You have good receivers there, Diami Brown, Terry McLaurin, okay? So you need to continue to utilize them. Brian Robinson, this offensive line is just terrible. They let go of Brandon Scherf. There's no room to run the football at all. If you're going to have Carson Wentz, you better be good at running the football. You better be like San Francisco. And I know that Scott Turner's trying to make Brian Robinson into a San Francisco running back and into a San Francisco running game. It's not working at all. All right, so the problem with Wentz is that Wentz is just as inaccurate as Justin Fields right now, but he doesn't have the athletic. He doesn't run like Justin runs. I mean, Carson Wentz is taller than Fields, and Carson Wentz has a big arm, but Carson Wentz used to be very athletic before that knee injury, and now he is just not very good. And in Philadelphia, he had an offensive line that really protected, and also Carson Wentz has turned the ball over quite a bit. But listen, that offensive line is bad. So if you're Washington, you have so many things to clean up. The offensive line isn't going to get better. Chase Young is injured all the time. I mean, that pick at number 2 overall, that hasn't impacted your team. You have Jonathan Allen. You have Daron Payne. Your defensive line should be freaking great, okay? You have the kid out of North Carolina, Holcutt. Like, you should be a really good defense, and instead you're not. You're dry and you're weak on defense, okay? And you're stale on defense. The whole team is stale and bad. And also, you're trying to get a dome stadium. You play in Virginia, Okay, you're a cold weather Northeast team. You don't need to be getting a dome stadium. You don't play in Texas, like you don't play in I don't know why you get a dome. I mean, you've had a great tradition of football playing outside with the Wild Hogs and with running the football. So does every game just want to be indoors in air conditioning and played in a laboratory, or do you want to play football outside? I know that the Chicago Bears, it's really sad because they're a team that prides themselves on running the ball, and the one game they beat San Francisco was because of the elements, but now you're going to decide to go inside when you're a running football team right now with a young quarterback just because you want to win a Super Bowl, just because you want to make more money. Listen, if fans in December, they want to be comfortable. I know that they don't want to sit outside in a dome, but I love outdoor football because I love memories of being in the snow and playing it. I'm a Northeastern I'm from the Northeast, so that's the football I grew up watching is, running the ball, Iowa style, smash mouth football. And the fact that now football in the dome's just going to turn into offensive light shows and the defenses are not going to get to play on those surfaces, I like outdoor football. But that game was tough to watch. Thursday night has just been brutal. In terms of offensive football, it's been bad in terms of not having any touchdowns that were allocated to either team yesterday and the week prior. But DC is stale. Whereas the Bears, they have a new coach, new coordinators, a young quarterback that is very athletic with running the ball. Because when you do zone read with a quarterback who can run, you don't have to be as good of a thrower because everybody has to allocate for you keeping the ball and running. All right, that's why Jalen Hurts is so effective. That's even why Kyler Murray can be effective. That is why Josh Allen is effective. Because these are quarterbacks that are able to scramble and run by themselves, and they can throw. When you're just a pocket passer, you're just a sitting duck for defenses to come after you. When you're Jacoby Brissett and you're just a pocket passer, you're in trouble. Because your running game, the fact that they run the ball as great as they do is a testament. It's very interesting that they do that. They're one of the teams that still is able to line up and run the ball in the middle of the field. Usually all the runs are to the outside because the big guys, the guards aren't the same level. All right, but Justin Fields, all these Bears fans that want to move on, it's year 2. Wait until after year 3 or year 4, okay? Continue to bolster. Go get some wide receivers. Go boost up the defense, okay? Because then if Justin isn't very good next year, you're going to be able to draft a quarterback the year after. Listen, if you want to spend a late first-round pick on a quarter, or if you want to spend say Hooker's available in the second round out of Tennessee, who's a really good thrower of the ball, to give Justin Fields some competition, you can draft Hendon Hooker as an insurance policy just to create that competition. I know it might mess up Justin Fields, it might mess with their heads, but Hendon Hooker is even more accurate. But again, add a little bit of competition for Justin Fields in year 3. Sure, you can add some competition in year 3 for Justin Fields. But again, that psychologically might mess everything up. Maybe give it one more year, and then you have some options. You could still get a guy like Bo Nix, Adrian Martinez. You could still draft a young quarterback to apply a little bit of pressure. Look at Kirk Cousins was an insurance policy for also RG3. Everybody makes too big of a deal of quarterbacks getting drafted in the second, third, whatever round. And not panning out. So Justin Fields is a 9th overall pick. Well, who are you getting in the 9th overall pick? What are you getting? Leonard Fournette or Christian McCaffrey? You're getting a running back probably in that range, or you're going to get a receiver that might not even be able to stay healthy. There's a high bust rate, right at the 10th pick anyway, 11th pick, if you aren't going to go quarterback. At least you get a quarterback that can hit some explosive throws and can really run the ball, because without Justin Fields, this Bears offense would not even put up any points, because Justin Fields' ability to throw the ball deep and his ability to run the ball, it's just in terms of Justin being consistent with underneath throws and making tight window throws, there might be a limitation on his game in that sense about being incredibly accurate over the long haul, because because of his throwing motion. And that's why I had guys like maybe even Mac Jones ahead of Justin Fields. I also had Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a better throwing motion, is more accurate. Boy, Trevor Lawrence is looking like the best one out of the group for now. I mean, then it's between Mac Jones and maybe Trey Lance. Zach Wilson, have to see more from Zach Wilson so far if we're re-ranking those rookie quarterbacks. But, man, I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on Chicago because I like this defense. I think that this GM, Ryan Poles, is actually building something pretty special. But it's going to be it could be a tough year with Chicago in terms of their offensive line needs to get even better. But I like this blueprint of outside zone. I love the blueprint of outside zone. I like the LaFleur and system, Shanahan McVay system. And I like Justin Fields holding the ball out like Marcus Mariota. I like that style of football because that's where you're seeing football going. You're seeing football go away from passing as defenders get faster, and you're seeing more of this of outside zone and stretch running game with a mobile quarterback, which is, kind of what Baltimore implemented several years ago. That is a smart way to quickly get good at football. And it's easier than having a great pocket passing game. And it makes it harder for defensive backs to just tee off on a pocket passing quarterback. So that's kind of how we viewed this game yesterday.